Hi, welcome. We are excited that you are here today. And as you can see, our topic is why you are toxic. Jill Eleson is my guest today on Insight Interview, and she is going to provide wonderful insights as to why you are toxic. I want to welcome you again. Today, you are here listening to Vibrational Change from Victim to Victor. And we are thrilled for this insight interview on why you are toxic. And Jill Eleson is going to be our guest today. And what she has to share with you is why she became a holistic health coach. And first, I'd like to just give you a few notes about Jill. Now, she is a very vibrant woman. And anyone in the holistic health field, I would say, is very vibrant. She also is an essential oil educator, and she helps clients live a very healthy lifestyle. And she goes beyond the basics of just nutrition, and she goes into a much broader perspective on the exploration of primary foods. So I'm going to allow Jill to take it from there and tell us about her story and how she became a holistic health coach. Jill, take it from there.
Thank you, Tracy. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate you letting me be here today and talking with you. This will be a lot of fun. So I kind of stumbled across being a holistic health coach. I'd always been in health and wellness positions, even as a teenager. When I went and got my first job, I worked at a health and fitness spa. When I was in college and supporting myself through school, I was working at the rec center at my university. And then when I got into corporate America, I was working in the safety, health, and environment group, doing all of our office-based safety and wellness programs. And also I worked for an oil company. So I was also doing all this safety program for all of the geologists that we'd send them out into different places of the world. And I'd go as the safety watch with water rescue and wilderness first aid. My husband and I started having kids, and we had 3 kids in 4.5 years. And we decided that a dual corporate career family was not working well. And I started staying home, but my husband would always tell me how I would light up and grin ear to ear every time I helped somebody with health or wellness or food or getting rid of chemicals. And I would just look at him like, I don't help people. And he said, yes, you do. You help people all the time. You should do something with this. And I would just joke with him saying, well, I don't know how liking kale becomes a job. And then lo and behold, by the time our third was 6 months old, I got introduced to the concept of a health coach. And so I looked up, a friend was going to go through the program. I looked at the school, which was the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York City. I got on their website. I looked at the program. I loved it. And the light bulb went off of, this is what you do as a job if you like kale. And we talked about it. It didn't make sense for me to go to school with a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old, but I couldn't let it go. And within a month, I was signed up for the program. And then I just made sure all 3 of them napped at the exact same time every afternoon so that mommy could do her school and I could start my health coaching practice. I started it very small. It was all during nap time. And then it's just been kind of slowly growing from there as my kids are still young, but they're at least not all the time anymore. How I became a health coach, able to take my passion and what I was doing day to day anyway and turn it into something where I could have a broader reach and have a bigger impact on the world.
Awesome, Jill. That is a wonderful story. So now that you're a health coach, and you are holistic and helping people all about kale. I love that. Why is a person toxic? Why am I toxic? I want to understand that and the terminology of toxicity. So explain that for us.
Yeah, toxicity it's a big deal, and it's a good thing for you to know about because this world makes us toxic. So the way that you become toxic, Tracy, is simply by breathing, eating, drinking water, chemical exposure in the world around you, your sleep patterns, your stress levels. I mean, essentially life makes you toxic.
So everything about me, everything about the way I live.
Not everything about the way you live. It's just the fact that because we are a human being and you are here on this planet, you can't avoid it. But what I'm here to tell people about today is we can't avoid it. We will become toxic. You will become toxic. Mm-hmm. There are things that you can do about it, that you can make better in life so that you can live vibrantly and feel good, even though you're living in a toxic world.
Okay, so if I am toxic, I'm feeling bloated, I'm feeling sluggish, I feel kind of blah.
Yep, you've got those things going on, plus a whole host of other things. You could have low energy, you could be having sleep problems, you could be having digestive issues, hormonal imbalances, mood imbalances. For some women, they might be experiencing infertility, you could have weight issues. Really, if you start to kind of look at a lot of Western diseases that we're experiencing so much more of, the root underlying cause of so many of those diseases is actually inflammation. And that's what toxicity creates in your body, is excess inflammation. And when we are inflamed, it affects us on so many levels. It affects you from a mental state, a physical state, a digestive state, and it just rode away at your body. It's hard to mentally feel good.
Wow. I just am awed by the number of different symptoms that toxicity creates. And then really the bottom line is all of those symptoms, ultimately, it creates inflammation within our bodies. And then we have diagnoses of different sorts, like rheumatoid arthritis or some other type of itis, which is inflammation, right?
Absolutely. I mean, as a health coach, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose or prescribe anything. If you look at what is coming out in the medical community, when they are trying to drill down to, let's not just look at symptoms, but let's look at the underlying cause of things, what they're finding is inflammation is running rampant at the base of all of these things. And so really what you want to be able to do is live a life where you reduce your toxicity and you reduce your inflammation so that hopefully some of these symptoms and diseases don't become a problem for you.
Yeah. Well, tell us more about how we get rid of toxicity.
So there are several things that you can do. There's a few that I want to highlight today because we can't highlight everything all at one time. But the main thing that you want to look at is your digestion. Some people might get a little bashful, but I'm going to say the word poop. What your poop looks like makes a huge difference. It's a very good indicator of your health and vitality. So if you've got the guts, check out what's down there next time you go to the bathroom. And you want to look for stuff that is, you want things that are a good format, but not hard and lumpy. So you want to look at your digestion. So you got to have good digestion in place. So how do you get good digestion? That is eating smart. It's eating clean foods. I'm not saying that somebody can't ever have a beer and burgers and fries, but you just don't want to make that the basis of your diet. You want to have lots of good produce, lots of leafy greens, whole grains. So you want to be looking at not just refined flours and things like that, but whole grains, particularly your, gluten-free whole grains, rice, quinoa, sorghum, millet, buckwheat, or some people call it kasha, nuts, seeds, legumes, healthy amounts of, good quality dairy. You want to have lots of good fats in your diet, and you want to be hydrating. Hydration is one of the most important things that you can do every single day. You want to aim for about half your body weight in ounces, and water can get boring. I will admit that. So I like to jazz it up. I'll put essential oils in it, or you can squeeze some lime or some lemon in it, drink herbal tea. There's ways to get hydration going, or even coconut water. Coconut water is a very personal thing. Try different brands until you find one you like, but it's a great source of electrolytes, and so it's going to help flush out some of that toxicity. But you want to stay hydrated so that you can keep your digestion moving and to flush out your kidneys and your liver and some of that toxicity.
Mm-hmm. I love the idea. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say another part of just incorporating a good probiotic foods like sauerkraut, raw sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt. But if you're going to do yogurt, make sure it's plain yogurt without the added sugars.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love the idea of adding essential oils to water. Mm-hmm. I am an avid water drinker, and I have a Kangen water machine, and so I drink hydrogenated alkaline water, and I drink a lot of it. And I love lemon and lime in my water, but I have never thought of putting essential oils in the water.
Yeah, you just have to be careful what essential oils you're using. You need to be using ones that are certified pure therapeutic grade. You need to make sure essential oils, those are not the kinds you want to put in your water. But yeah, I love lime, wild orange, grapefruit, lemon. I even like cinnamon in my tea. There's a lot of really good oils that you can put in your water. And just as an aside, if you make green smoothies, lemon or lime in there, make it taste like a little mojito.
Oh, nice. Okay, so tell us more about the safely and effectively cleansing the mind and the body.
Yeah, I will. Actually, I'll get there in just a minute. I wanted to bring up, we kind of got off on the digestion, and I wanted to bring up just a few other points of things that people can do to rid toxicity, because it kind of will then feed into talking about having a safe and effective cleanse in your life. But a few other things that people can look at to reduce toxicity is, like for Tracy, I don't know what all you have and actually helps your budget, is just start making your own cleaning products. Really honestly using vinegar, baking soda, water, and essential oils. If I'm missing something, I can't think of it right now, but those are really kind of the base ingredients of everything that you need to make toxic-free, very powerful and potent household cleaners. Looking at your personal care items, what we put on our body is just as important as what we put in our body. So if you're using a lot of things with all sorts of, ingredient lists that are this long, filled with words that you have no idea what they are, what they do, then that might be an indicator that you're putting into your body. There are a few other things that people can do is you want to sweat. You want to get your body moving. With today's way of living and the amount of technology that we use and the amount that, the computer is used for everything these days. We just sit a lot. So you just want to get your body moving. You want to get your blood pumping. You want to be doing a lot of deep belly breathing, and you want to sweat, because deep belly breathing and sweating is one of the best ways to get rid of toxicity. Your skin is your largest organ, so use it. And then another thing before we kind of get into the cleansing, because the cleansing is one of the biggest things that I want to talk about today, is looking at your self-care routine, like how you prioritize relaxation, me time, and what you're doing to take care of yourself. And it doesn't have to be, and I do a few sun salutations where I offer gratitude to myself or to important people in my life that make my life a better day. And honestly, do about 15 minutes of some at-home exercises with no equipment that gets my blood pumping and a little bit of sweat going. My day is so much better. And it doesn't really matter how many deadlines I have or what I have going on. If I do that piece every morning and say no to everything that's not done at the end of the night at the right time for me to be in bed and get my maximum amount of sleep, I can handle most any tough situation. It's not always pretty. It's not always fun, but my stress levels don't go skyrocket where I feel so overwhelmed I don't know what to do anymore. So it's really looking at self-care and then downtime. Do you ever shut off your devices? Do you ever get out of town for the weekend? We don't all have the ability, time, or budget for a nice long 2-week vacation in Bali. We would all love it. But we all have the ability to turn off our phone for the weekend or go for a hike or just get out of our world, get out of our space for a little bit. And so all of those things are kind of precursors to things. The number one way for you to get rid of toxicity and inflammation. And that's what I want to have the opportunity to talk about today. So,
yeah, that is great. And that gives us a lot of ideas. And I really appreciate that you mentioned about the downtime and sleep. So often that's overlooked and people miss getting the time. And I know for myself that I require a lot of time and I sleep the number of hours that my body and my mind require for the processing that's necessary. And my acupuncturist even confirmed with me that because I do not wake up to an alarm clock and I allow that length of time to be whatever is necessary for the total processing, that my body is really totally detoxing, including the mind, which is the last organ actually to detox. So I love that. Yeah, that's great. Okay, tell us about safely and effectively cleansing.
So can you hear me, Tracy? Because the sound on my end just cut out for a little bit.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I have developed seasonal clean eating programs. I call it Clean Eating Reboot, that help people cleanse physically and mentally. And I feel like that's the piece that people miss so often with cleansing is they just do it on a physical level. They don't take it that next step to a mental state. And it's kind of the way you choose to cleanse too. There's so many programs out there today, so many options. And real food, it's kind of sometimes even almost a starvation thing, or it's a juice thing, or just a thing. And I was kind of hungry all week. So then you're kind of starving. And if you're starving, you're likely kind of maybe pissed off and angry. And if you think about toxicity and how stress plays into toxicity, if you're angry and upset and just jonesing for food, you're not really detoxing anything. You might be giving your body a break from certain foods, but you're getting all this pent up stress and emotions going on, which is just kind of building some toxicity, even though you are getting some out of your body. So what I have developed is a program where you eat real food, good food. You never are hungry or starving. And you have the whole success toolkit with you for looking at what mentally and emotionally you're holding on to that's not for you. What routines you're following. Back to talking about self-care is a whole toolkit of self-care practices that people can try out, implement, find out what's right for them, and start figuring out what their bare minimum things they need each and every day to make their life better. All while you're eating all these good, yummy foods that it's a plan that I've got laid out for you. You get a recipe guide with over 70 recipes, and you can plan your whole cleanse yourself with whatever recipes you want, Or you can take my 11-day guide that's already ready for you. You've got your program guide. You've got what else do you get? There's so many things that go into the program. There is, bonuses that go. You have 4 days of pre-reboot guided for you, because you don't want to just go from how you normally do things to day one into a cleanse. You kind of need to ease your way into it, or you might feel really, really horrible for the first few days of your cleanse. And then I also, for anybody who is watching this, I'm going to give them a free 1-hour health strategy session with me. But whenever you're doing the food side and the physical side of this cleanse, what it's going to do for you is it's going to boost your energy. It's going to increase your immune system and make it stronger. Part of the process is going through a week-long elimination diet where you take out all the highly inflammatory foods and you slowly add them back in to figure out, oh, okay, so, rice, brown rice, that's a healthy food. But when I eat brown rice, my arthritis in my hands flares up. Like, it helps you really start honing in on the foods that are right for your body, because there's no one right or wrong food for you. It's for everybody. It's what's for you. So there's a lot of foods that get vilified these days, and they don't need to be. They might be right for certain people, but it's just really learning and getting in tune with your body. And that's why I think it's so to cleanse, so that on the other end of your cleanse, you don't go back to all your old routines, all your old way of eating. You have all these new tools and tips and tricks and recipes that you can add into your daily life.
Okay, great, Jill. So tell me, how do I get in touch with you to sign up for the cleanse?
So if you go to my website, which is .com, which you've had up on the screen today, there is a tab that says Work With Me. And under Work With Me, there is a tab for what's called Clean Eating Reboot. And that is my seasonal cleanse. The spring one is ongoing, right? You take you through the process, and you'll start receiving your daily emails, all your program materials, and you'll start having access to me and the Facebook page immediately.
Okay, so it's up on the screen now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you need to go, to holisticallynourished.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able to get into the cleanse.
Absolutely.
That's awesome, Jill. So, do you have anything more that you would like to add?
The main thing that I would just want to add and kind of leave you with today, and it's a big piece of my coaching programs and what I do with my clients that I work with outside of the cleanses. And it's just really, looking at where you are today and what kind of balance that you feel like is in your life and what commitment you have to yourself. Because if you are ready to commit to yourself and ready to prioritize your health and meet your deadlines, not just everybody else's around you, then you can do anything, and you can have vibrant health, and you can feel amazing, and people are going to notice. There's going to be a different glow and aura about you. And instead of your aura being close and tight on the inside, it's going to be nice and open and wide for everybody to experience around you.
Yeah, I'm all about that. And vibrational change is all about that, and being expansive versus constricted. And when a person is healthy in spirit, mind, body, and emotion, you are very expansive. And when you're in that homeostasis place, you live a vibrant life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's really great, Jill. I really appreciate you coming on the show today, Jill. You've given us a really depth insight into what toxicity is, how we get toxic, how to get rid of toxicity, how to safely and effectively cleanse our mind and our body, and the resources through you at www.holisticallynourished.com, where we can connect with you and have that vibrant life. And I so appreciate you being with us, Jill.
Thank you, Tracy. I've had a lot of fun being with you.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much. Everyone that joined us today, you have a great day and be vibrant.